This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Get your mother-loving ears on because your big-time radio DJ's got news. PayPal lets you choose how you want to pay for all the stuff. With PayPal, I can pay in-store, pay online, or pay over time. What's that? You want this translated into song? I hope you're sitting down. You can pay your own way. You keep those ears on, you hear? Don't just pay, baby. PayPal.
Learn more at paypal.com.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
A couple of quick talkbacks here before we break for Hynes in a couple of minutes. Thank you for your contributions. And here they are.
Hey, 9 to noon team, Charlie from Prior Lake. The way the Wolves are going to win this game, one, they need to rebound better. We need the Rudy of the last 2 months, given the huge size advantage that we have. 2, the obvious one, cut out the fouling. That was ridiculous last night. And 3, we need our role players to hit their shots. Dante, Nas, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Hit your wide open threes and the Wolves will win.
Put McDaniels into that mix and you got a superfecta. I missed my guy's name there, but that's Charlie. I mean, I got Charlie, Blake, Robert. I mean, we it's going to be tough for the con to decide who gets those tickets here in about 45 minutes.
Hey, boys. Chris from Hastings. A couple things about last night's Lakers-Wolves game. First thing is, the brand of basketball the Lakers are playing is just horrendous. I mean, it's just not a fun brand of basketball. I mean, literally every time LeBron or Luka get the ball and they don't make a basket, they look for a foul. They're pointing at the refs. I mean, it's just terrible. And the second thing, I think the Wolves can take them. I think they're the better team. Your thoughts?
So what you got to do is you need to parse between what transpired game 1 and what transpired game 2 and identify who you think the Timberwolves are. Because the Lakers were different too, but the 8 deep piece for the Timberwolves is supposed to matter. You know, Gabe Vincent hit those 2 3-pointers early. You couldn't find him with a searchlight the rest of the game. Dorian Finney-Smith, he's trying to get physical with Anthony Edwards. Lou Dort, you are not. So that was bad and inadequate game 1. Got better game 2. Ain't nobody tripping on Dorian Finney-Smith. And Jackson Hayes has been Jackson Hayes. Vanderbilt's in to do one thing, agitate. It's an identification piece. What is your identity? Is it who you were game 1 with that depth, or who you were last night, game 2, when you got beat up a little bit?
One more here before we pause.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Brett from Cleveland, Minnesota. We got this. Ant going off for 40. Nas is going to calm down. McDaniels is going to do McDaniels things.
Which one?
Wolves going to sweep the rest of the games.
Oh, okay.
Hooty hoo.
Oh, what a hooty hoo.
Oh, little hooty hoo.
Thank you for selling the hope, because this is
Faith and Goal.
It's hashtag Faith Radio, and we have faith in the Minnesota Wild coming back home and winning at least 1. 2 would be great. Game 3 tomorrow night, about 8:15, 8:20 on KFAN. And to talk about that and more is a Wild coach, John Hynes. But first.
Yeah, indeed. I got a couple of things for you. Let's handle the cash contest first. KFAN, along with BigDeck.com, want to give you a chance to put $1,000 in your hand with the National Cash Contest. The keyword is cash. You might win $1,000 with the keyword cash. So you can enter that in at KFAN.com. So that's the cash contest. How about some Vikings Miller Lite draft party tickets? I got a pair of tickets right now. We will do caller number 5. It's a number of triples our favorite hoops team hit last night. Let's hope it's at least double or triple that. For the purposes of this, caller number 5, 800-320-5326. I got a pair of tickets to the 2025 Miller Lite Vikings draft party. Caller 5 right now is you'll help welcome in the newest member of your favorite football team. Come and get them.
Spring into savings during Blinds.com's Spring Black Friday sale, happening now. Freshen up your home with brand new custom window treatments for less. At Blinds.com, shopping online for custom window treatments doesn't mean sacrificing on service, selection, or style. As the #1 online retailer of custom window treatments, Blinds.com has hundreds of options to fit any decor and budget. Choose from stylish roller or bamboo shades, blackout options, and more. We even have motorized shades for your patio, DIY, or let our experts handle the heavy lifting. Blinds.com has you covered with free virtual consultations. We'll even send a pro to do the measure and install. Try before you buy with free samples delivered to your door. With over 25 million windows covered, every order's backed with Blinds.com's 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com's Spring Black Friday sale now for up to 50% off site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Save up to 50% at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list. Like this leaf blower! PayPal could pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary. Ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Indecision. Overthinking. Second-guessing every choice you make. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Beige on beige on beige. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
Hi.
John Hynes, coach of the Minnesota Wild, very nice enough to join us. What an excellent win for our Minnesota Wild last night. It was 5-2 out Vegas way, and the Wild have seized home ice from the 2 seed, and we're very happy now to be joined by the head coach of the Minnesota Wild before he boards a plane and heads northeast to the state of hockey. Congratulations on the victory. John, how are you feeling this morning?
Thanks, BA. Appreciate it. Doing pretty well. You know, it's always nice to have the team play as hard as we did in the last 2 games and come out with a nice win last night. I think it sets us up to keep moving forward in a real positive way as we go forward in the series.
John, seriously, how important and big was not only the team, but the goalie? The first 3, 4, 4.5 minutes last night when, I mean, Vegas was throwing everything it had at you and couldn't get a goal. That was big, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was huge. Gus was really sharp early, and I think it was a combination of, Vegas having a great start at home and trying to get after us a little bit. Gus stood strong. I thought we had some huge shot blocks as well to help Gus out in that situation, and sometimes that's what happens. And that's where you need, usually at all times, but particularly in the playoffs when there's surges and pushes from the other team. You need to be able to stand strong, and that was a big part of us winning the game, was holding serve at that point.
You mentioned the block shots. You had 30 of them. Obviously super key. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but coaches absolutely love the team first mentality when you outblock the other team by like 17, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of a love and hate, to be honest. You love it because you're the sacrifice that the players have. It shows they're invested, and it's, probably other than a physical confrontation is probably the most selfless thing you can do in the game because you're putting your body in harm's way. Now, with that being said, I commend the guys for that, but sometimes when you're blocking too many shots, you know, you'd like to have the puck a little bit more as well at certain times in the game.
Right. What goes into a game flipping the way it did last night? They as we mentioned earlier, they tilted the ice and you held them at bay and mostly just took it to them the rest of the night. What triggers that?
Well, I think some of it comes to what we had talked about, right? They come out with a strong start and they're firing everything at the net and you know, Gus is sharp, so we don't give one up. Guys are blocking shots. We get our feet under us, you know, holding serve, and then you get the next goal, and that's usually when it possibly could shift. And last night, that's what happened.
I thought Gorgie, Kevin Gorg, asked you an awesome question post game last night. I'd like to gravy train it. 12 hits for Foligno, 23 the first two games for Moose. And you guys have out hit them 69-37 through 2. How much is that impacting the games, given the fact he and the others are blasting the Golden Knights and the refs aren't throwing their arms in the air?
Yeah, it's certainly a factor when you get into these playoff series where, you know, if you have some physicality to your game consistently, it does play a factor because, you know, the other team knows it's not just, okay, one game against Minnesota and then we're on to Chicago, right? It's, okay, this is what we're facing night in and night out. How are we going to deal with it? Now, on the other side of that, you know, we've been a pretty disciplined team all year long. And as I said last night, you can be physical and aggressive without taking penalties. And, you know, I think that's why we had a goal this year to have less penalties and great stick discipline and not put ourselves in adverse situations. So if and when you get into these high pressure playoff style games and playoff style situations, you can be an ultra competitive team on the ice, but you're not putting yourself in harm's way with all kinds of penalties and lack of discipline.
John Hynes, coach of the Minnesota Wild, 5-2 victors last evening. Series against Vegas tied at 1. Game 3 tomorrow night at the X, about 8:20. Kaprizov, the pass to Boldy. I mean, you've seen more than all of us, man. The pass to Boldy for the first goal. That's as good as you're going to see, right?
Yeah, that's next level stuff right there. I mean, that's a big time player making a big time play.
And Boldy, you know, I don't want this to get shortchanged either. Now, clearly, you know, he scored all your goals in the first game and got your first one last night. He's so dialed in, man. I mean, the hand-eye work to catch it and score off that was high end too, wasn't it?
Really high end, yeah. To be able to catch it under pressure with the guy kind of right on his back, giving him a little whack here or there with the stick, and just, you know, catch it, put it down, and snap it all under pressure was that's next level as well. Like that's two guys making a big time play that not many guys can make, but those two guys can, and they converted.
How do you handle Nicholas Hague? Uncalled, awful cross check on Hartman game 1. Hit Kirill with 2 legit punches last night. One knocked him down, and nothing was called despite the refs being right there. How do you handle that?
I think I just think we keep playing through it, right? I mean, there's ways that, you know, yes, some of those things occurred, but I still think from a competitive standpoint, our team's coming, you know, those things are going to happen in the playoff series. I just think playing through it, being disciplined, let the refs do what they got to do. But our focus has got to be, you know, competing the right way.
Hey, John, with last night, how did you guys stabilize things? So we talked about the beginning, and here comes the onslaught. Stabilized it, took a 3-0 lead. But later, when they made it 4-2, and then the place got loud, still 17 and a half minutes to play. What were keys to stabilizing the situation at that moment?
Well, we had talked about certain things we wanted to do in between the second and third, and obviously they came out and scored the goal, but just poise and confidence. Just we have to continue to play the game, be in the moment, meet the competitive nature of the game, take care of our details, just play. And, you know, that's kind of been a mantra all year long. I think we've done a pretty good job throughout the year of not getting too high, not getting too low, being focused in games. bringing the appropriate amount of intensity, but also the appropriate amount of smarts and focus in the game. And, I think all those little things are paying off. The mantras you have, the lessons you learn throughout the season, the things that you talk about, the things that you value as players and coaches in the team setting, these are all part of it, is trying to have that mentality, the mental fortitude to be able to play in these situations under these conditions. And for 2 games, we were pretty good. Now we got to continue to get better and stronger at that as well as the series goes on.
No doubt. And your stars are shining. Kaprizov and Boldy, obviously key. Not saying Hartman and or Foligno don't have star power to them. But this individual team you're playing with Ryan Hartman and Marcus Foligno, is it fair to say the way they play, they fit in wonderfully in a series like this?
Yes. I think both Marcus and Hartman, when they're playing their games, which they are at a high level, they have they're playoff style of games, playoff style of players. And it's nice to see that the two of those guys are playing, at the top of their game to their identities in this series. That's what we need to give ourselves the best chance to win.
Now Rossi and Hartman switched line spots early in the game. What led you to that move?
I didn't think that in game 1 that Rossi, Nyquist, and Foligno, were great. I thought that he was trying to match Eichel against Gaudreau's line. I think Gaudreau is one of our best two-way centermen, and Zuccarello and Johansson are, pretty sharp veteran guys that play with great attention to detail. Then you have X line. So it was just a little bit of a switch-up to try to get a little bit more out of a couple of different lines. And so we made the move. I think Hartman and Foligno also have some good chemistry, and when they play a certain style of game, and they did that last night, and it was effective.
All right, just a couple more. And thank you very much for the time, Coach Hynes. It was terrific watching that game into Wednesday morning, and I know you got to go here soon. But I really liked what you said about Marco Rossi after the game, because it's clear, even to the layman like me, that he's had some rough moments so far this series. But you stressed after the game you believe in him and that he will make a positive impact on the series. What leads you to that conclusion?
Well, I think Marco's a good player. I think everybody sometimes forgets, right? First playoffs. He's a young player. We got to win. And all year in the experience with Marco, he's a young guy, and he has great spurts and great segments. And there's other ones where you got to learn this segment of the season, or you got to push through this. I think he's a great kid. He's got huge character. He cares. He's got good talent. He's a good part of our team, but we got to work through some things with him to get him to be able to be a factor in the series. And I'm confident he will be, because we'll put in the time with him. I know he'll put in the time to fix the areas that we need a little bit more from him. And I have no doubt that he's going to help us as we move forward.
Fair to say, same thing with the 19-year-old Zeev Buium. I mean, it was his second game. He had to be shell-shocked game 1, maybe last night. But, he gave you 12. I think he gave you 13 the first game. And it should get better as he sees it more, right?
Yes. Yeah. You obviously, I think any experience you get going through these things, are there. That when you're in the playoffs are going to help. But in the playoffs, probably even more than the regular season, you're making lineup decisions game to game. Game to game. Doesn't mean that the same lineup that was in one night is for sure going to be in the next night. Because you're looking at different things. There's way more matchups. You're looking at how the team performs. What will we work better? There's things that you have to do in a series that you have to adapt to. So whether those guys play, don't play big minutes, don't play big minutes, we're going with that game to game, day to day, and try to put together the best combinations we think are going to help us win.
Lastly, Coach, for those who don't get this with hockey, last change. So you being at home, you get last change. A, how does that favor your team? And B, how does it help you with the Eichel line?
Well, it can favor you if you want to try to get a possible mismatch. For example, if they have a certain set of D or a certain group of players that you feel you could take advantage of, maybe you could throw X line out against them when the ref's arm goes up. The fact that you have last change, you can really use it more at whistles coming out of timeouts. If you want certain players to be able to check another line, you kind of have the upper hand, for most of the game. It gets a little tricky as the play's going on because you can mix and match your lines. But that's usually helpful if you want to get certain matchups for sure.
That's terrific. Safe travels, my man, and I'll see you soon, all right?
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it.
Yep, congratulations, John. Have a good day.
Thanks, PA. See you.
Yep, bye. John Hynes, coach of the Minnesota Wild. Thank you, Aaron Sickman and Wild PR, and specifically head coach John Hynes, because they're in a hurry to get to a bus, get to an airport, fly back. Chill today, have the morning skate tomorrow, and then play the Las Vegas Golden Knights in a Game 3 of this opening round series. I believe puck drops about 8:20 tomorrow evening. I was texting with Kevin Gorg this morning, and he mentioned to me, and I didn't see this, and usually, if we're not tired or we have time, I like to watch the press conferences from the adversarial head coaches and or players for our team and the other team, just to kind of see what's on their mind after a game, and that's how into game number 2, I had some of the JJ Redick takes that I had, specifically, him just refusing to give credit to any form of scheme. And now that I've watched game 2, with all due respect to JJ Redick, he was right with some things that he was saying. I still didn't like the smug fashion that he shared it, but that's okay. I guess Coach Cassidy, the coach of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, I guess he really got after his team last night. I don't know if he did it publicly. I don't know if he did it privately. But that's what Senor Spotty told me this morning. But I haven't watched that press conference. I would be curious to know, what the points were, what his emphasis points were, with him getting after the Vegas Golden Knights for, really, bringing it to the Wild early. And, like we've seen in That's Hockey related moments, is if you stave that challenge, it's going to flip to the other side for at least a short period of time. And it did last night. Then Boldy got that goal. And after that, I don't just never having played hockey, but I've watched a fair amount of it over the last 10 years specifically. To properly describe the porous nature one of their blue liners, Shea Theodore, was taking to some of his attempted checks. I don't know if him and Haig, and then there was one other route for the Golden Knights I forgot to write down. Well, they just went willy-nilly. It almost is if they're like, cool, we won game 1. We know we have you whenever we want you, either in this game or the series. So we are going to jettison whatever game plan was implemented, and we're just going to blast you. We're tired of getting out hit. This is that's a significant part of this series. The fact that the Wild have out hit the Las Vegas Golden Knights 69-37 through 2 games. Last night was a blowout when Vegas made it 4-2 after the hurdle goal with 17 and change to go. There were a couple of decent opportunities in there, but it didn't feel like Vegas was going to come charging, tie, and then blow by the Christmas colors as if they were tied to a post. Just like game 1, when it was 3-2 and the Wild had some opportunities, I still felt the Vegas Golden Knights are the right team in this game. They've done enough to establish themselves as the better team in this game. The Wild looked better last evening than the Vegas Golden Knights looked in game 1. And the Vegas Golden Knights went pear-shaped last night, specifically Theodore. The example that comes to mind is Zuki is next to the boards. Theodore had no intent on playing a normal game of hockey. He just went full throttle trying to blast Zuki. Zuki got out of it. And then after the JoJo steal, he went down and scored. So Theodore had a ton to do with that mistake, and which led to that goal. that wasn't the only time he did things like that. So with Theodore had a terrific game one. He was the one with the toe drag slide to the middle of the ice to set up the power play goal. And he's a veteran, man. He looked super poised in game one. He went pear-shaped last night. But this Nicholas Hague situation, it's a situation. I mean, if the officials are not going to call cross-checking to the throat or the face when they're looking at it, like in game one, Hague on Hartman, that's a problem. Credit Ryan Hartman, because he could have complained to the refs. He didn't. He could have started a fight. He didn't. He could have retaliated later in the game with a cheap shot on Hague, and he didn't. That's maturity. That's postseason maturity, and Ryan's playing incredibly well. In fact, about as well as anybody on the squad. But like last night, when 4 or 5 guys became entangled, and you got Hague 14. I mean, he hit Kirill Kaprizov in the face 2 times with legitimate hard punches. It wasn't the glove wash or just like with the back of the glove, kind of flick your wrist and hand at him. No, that was a straight jab. And then it calmed, and then it might have been an uppercut, but it was a heck of a punch. And Kaprizov went down, man. He almost knocked him out. And I just don't, I guess I don't know enough about hockey or postseason hockey or the history of how officials handle moments like that. I don't see how that can't be any form of egregious penalty. With specifically with 2 refs right there. So that's why I asked Hynesy to see what he would say about it, and he's like, "Well, we just got to continue to be ourselves. We just need to continue to implement the plan. We just need to continue to play the way we're playing." I mean, hockey people know this better than anybody. It's the state of hockey. I'm still kind of an interloper and an outsider when it comes to conversations like this, but doing the best to hold my own. When teams go pear-shaped, when teams lose their composure, when teams play the immaturity card, the way the Las Vegas Golden Knights did last night, specifically with Theodore a few times and then Hague multiple times, well, they're gripping, and that's a good thing. Now, that it's an individual, isolated situation for that game, a game where the Wild looked pretty good. But if you go back to game one, Hague was doing a lot of the same stuff. So I just wonder how they're going to get a hold of this guy. Yeah, State of Hockey is going to be all over him Thursday night at XL Energy Center.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're looking for. They know when he's on the ice. You can boo him if you want. He couldn't care less. I mean, people probably, he can be so insignificant sometimes that people really is not used to being cheered or booed. It's almost like not a lot of people know who he is. But they're going to let him have it Thursday night for punching Kaprizov twice in the face. And the second one was a legit in the squared circle boxing punch. Down goes 9-7.
Doesn't it feels like being at the X, Hynes' ability to kind of engineer the matchups on the ice, that could play into it.
Yeah.
You mentioned, the team playing, continuing and needing to play the way they have been. Totally with you. And you mentioned the hit disparity. Doesn't it just feel like Vegas, their hits, there might be that gaudy number that you're talking about, and it is, but theirs just feel harder.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter whatever that disparity over the course of the series ends up being, when we don't have, what was it, a couple of years ago, 2 or 3, we had Ryan Reeves in this mix. At one point, we were talking about this team being one of the most physical teams in the NHL entering the playoffs. I don't think you look at the Wild like that as it is right now. And Foligno doing the work that he has about a third of all the Wild's hits right now. So he's going on OT. Loved the goal from him last night. But man, this team is just size up and down the boards, the Vegas Golden Knights. And so doing whatever they can to combat that. I just wonder what that looks like in the sphere of the postseason. If this is December, you're dropping gloves and you're handling business in an isolated vacuum-like environment. But now over the course of the series, how do you protect a guy like Kaprizov from those instances if the refs aren't going to blow the whistle on it? And the best, I think, in Hynes' spot is probably he'll be doing a lot of matchup engineering with that final change the advantage he'll have at the X versus in the 702.
All right, let's take it over to Minneapolis because Luka whines and cries. The local fan base is tired of his self-loathing. And I could just tell that by either texting with friends like you or the social media machines.
Yeah.
And we all watch it. I mean, he complains at every single thing. Trent Tucker, who was in studio an hour ago, is like, if I were a referee, I'd look at him and say, stop. If he doesn't stop, I'll say it again. Luka, stop.
He's totally, and he's a disaster. Double T was perfect with it. Love that. You'll be able to podcast the whole thing later.
Yeah.
He had a moment last night, though, where it's also kind of you just tip the cap to greatness. His no-look pass, I think it was Gabe Vincent or it was Vanderbilt pushing to the hoop from the baseline.
When he held his hand out like, hey, look at this serve.
The ball wasn't even in his teammate's hands yet for the easy dunk or lay-in. And he was already eyes on the ref complaining that he was hacked on the way in, forcing him to pass.
Yeah.
It was an unbelievable moment where it kind of summed up everything. It's like, man, he's an elite shooter. He's an elite playmaker. He's a superstar that he is. But he's also absolutely locked in on the Zebras, locked in on complaining, locked in, consummate victim. Jimmy K's throwing out Stu references and bloody knees. Everything encompassing Luka was in that singular play last night.
See, but in closing here, it's when some players are at their very best when they're mad. Okay? Not everybody has conversations well. No matter what they are, personal lives, professionally, sports, or whatever, not everybody can hold their composure when they're mad.
True.
Luka can. Luka plays very, very well when he feels everything's against him. He's making it all up. But when he's mad, it's why I bring this up is, when I lived in Los Angeles, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played for the LA Lakers. And when Kareem got mad, he was completely unstoppable. He was an unstoppable machine when he got mad. Not everybody's like that. And here's why I bring it up. Because the things Luka Doncic will hear Friday and Sunday at Target Center, they're going to be nasty.
Right.
And, it's for myriad reasons. One, a self-awareness, maturity level of the individual in the stands, cussing at players on the other team, which could get you thrown out. There's that. But also, it fires Luka up in a way where it feels like it's him against the 5 on the court and the 20,000 in the building and the 3 referees. The reason I bring it up is there were 2 times last year when he played for the Dallas Mavericks. One was the end of the series when they won the game and bounced the Timberwolves. I believe that was here.
It was.
Well, he looked at fans behind the Mavericks bench and basically was, go home, UMFs.
Right.
Go home, UMFs. But in an earlier game, or maybe earlier in that game, some rube close to the court was getting after him. And he looked at the guy and basically said, who's crying now, MF? So he hears you. It motivates him, but Timberwolves fans do remember that. He was the one who looked at this fan base last year and said, who's crying now, MFs? And now you can go home, you MFs.
And that bucket he hit over Rudy where he just turned around and just want some of this?
That's what it was.
I gotta ask this, though, is how many high-end superstars, because we've talked about this with Jimmy, too, and LeBron, though he's 40 and old people get tired and all of that, I don't think you control LeBron out of his zone.
No.
How many superstars don't get like that, though? Especially now. I mean, these fans are on you. It's always been like that in the NBA. Feet on the floor. You're loving it, seeing and being seen.
Yeah.
But these guys, it feels like from especially with Luka, he's playing pro at age 14 somewhere. This guy's been getting heckled since he was going through puberty.
Yep.
You think throwing some quippy line at the cat is going to throw him off his game?
Yep.
There were a couple of montages I was watching on X after game 1 where Ant, and we adore Ant, what he can do on the court.
Oh.
But Ant was getting after him. And they were showing kind of his red face, like he's just like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't do that. No, Luka remembers.
Yeah.
Luka does not forget.
Yeah.
And Luka was dunking on everybody, not just with the 37 in game one in a losing effort, but last night he came back with a vengeance. We almost got to be quiet when he has the ball.
And to a certain extent, with Anthony Edwards, I'm glad you said that, because at 23, Anthony is, when he gets mad, okay, his defense becomes all NBA last 20 years. But his offense gets it's in his head, and really outside of just a few things that somebody can say to you from the crowd. And this is narrowcasting here. I didn't see it. It was sent to me yesterday via the X machine. You just can't look at fans and be like, well, he's $100 million. He's this, he's that.
Yeah.
We're a combined $300 million. Screw you. We can buy and sell you. And then grab your midsection and say, bleep this.
Well,
just don't do that, man.
I think he actually told a Lakers fan, I have a larger
Did he?
bleep than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's been fined nearly $400,000 this year.
Man,
he can't help himself.
But you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Right.
So to that end, Anthony, stay in and we saw him, whether it was a shoulder or not, him attacking that hoop last night, he was missing the shots that he makes.
Yes.
So when he's amped up, you're right, that defense goes through the roof. I need a chill Anthony Edwards. I need a big smile.
With you.
Not saying much. I'm going to walk into 5 or 6 triples tomorrow, Friday night, and just watch our way to a Game 3 victory. But Luka, just don't jeer him. Don't cheer him. Do nothing.
Yeah, don't even jeer him.
How about pin drop quiet when Luka has the ball on Friday?
I like it.
I feel like we're all rubes. I don't know if we're disciplined enough to do that, but don't irk Luka because he will come at you.
That was our marathon segment, courtesy of Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. Final segment for today.
Get your mother-loving ears on because your big-time radio DJ's got news. PayPal lets you choose how you want to pay for all the stuff. With PayPal, I can pay in-store, pay online, or pay over time. What's that? You want this translated into song? I hope you're sitting down. You can pay your own way. You keep those ears on, you hear? Don't just pay, baby. PayPal.
Learn more at paypal.com.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Procrastination. Putting it off. Kicking the can down the road. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Carpet in the bathroom. Like, why? In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
Day is next.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
We can't wait until tomorrow. Why?
Tomorrow
is
might very well be too late.
Day 1 NFL Draft, KFAN.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
I got a winner here in the Wolves Back Talkback series. Thank you to all the Talkbacks, by the way. It's Wolves Back Talkback Wednesday. We talked about your chance to win Timberwolves versus Lakers Game 3 tickets. We asked you to dial up the iHeartRadio app, give us up to your best 30 seconds, give us your name and where you're from and have all the contact info, etc. We asked you to do that, and you did it in droves, and we appreciate all that came in.
Thank you.
And I'd like to play the winner. He's headed to Target Center on Friday night. Charlie.
Hey, 9 to noon team.
Hey, Charlie.
From Prior Lake. The way the Wolves are going to win this game, one, they need to rebound better. We need the Rudy of the last 2 months, given the huge size advantage that we have. 2, the obvious one, cut out the fouling. That was ridiculous last night. And 3, we need our role players to hit their shots. Dante, Nas, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Hit your wide open threes and the Wolves will win.
Charlie.
Too.
Congratulations, and thank you very much for listening to 9 to Noon, your audio leader at KFAN, if and or whenever you do, likewise for the fan. And I'm Paul Allen. We take one break from the NFL draft tomorrow. The heir apparent joins the radio show to preview Game 3 between Wild and Vegas Golden Knights. The rest of it, NFL draft related tomorrow. Please join at 9. I'm Paul Allen. Here comes Big Daddy Khan to put that wrap on the show.
Now, what did I do wrong?
The game is over.
Today we're halfway happy, halfway feeling blue, depending on your flavor. Quite a game, too. Wolves fans are howling, but going boo-hoo. Ant calling out the privates of our old friend Stu. Now in the state of hockey, they're flying. All the lost pucks in Vegas zones, Aiden Hill left dying. 702 rarely gives anything away. It was like heaven watching those passes to 12 from 97. Now they're both coming home 1-1, taking advantage back under the Minnesota sun. Hockey's one thing, home court advantage means a ton. Wolves back, bring the nice United we run. Now tomorrow, finally, it's the draft. 24, a tricky figure, need an opinion life raft. Alec and Miller and Lieber and Cronin. Hopefully tomorrow night we hear a name and we ain't groaning.
No love from the Golden State Warriors.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Hey, Janice Torres here.
And I'm Austin Hankwitz.
We're the hosts of Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories, produced by Ruby Studio and Intuit QuickBooks. Catch up on seasons 1 and 2 and join us for a brand new season of the podcast as we talk to small business owners about how they manage and grow their businesses with the help of platforms like Intuit QuickBooks.
Listen to Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, tasty high note. Oh, hi, don't mind me. I'm practicing my new baritone sax. I just heard PayPal's paying for people's stuff every day for 100 days, and there's 10 million up for grabs. All you have to do is use PayPal checkout online. So there's never been a better time to buy a few things off the old wish list. Like this leaf blower! PayPal could pay for your purchase. The Great PayPal Checkout.
No purchase necessary. Ends July 18th. See official rules at paypal.com/thegreatpaypalcheckout/terms. Participating merchants only must use PayPal checkout online. Coverage of up to $100 and eligible purchases per card.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit, so you can push your gameplay beyond performance with Intel Core Ultra processors. For the next era of gaming, upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E and maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search. Power up at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.